Hey there, creatures of the night. You're tuned back into High on Horror, your favorite weekly horror podcast that proves the only thing higher than our tolerance is our terror level. I'm Drew, clawing my way out of hiatus and back into the crypt to drag you through more mayhem, monsters, and midnight munchies.
And I'm John. That's right, we've been on quite a bit of a hiatus, but Horror Hounds and Stoner spoke, so we're back. This episode, and every episode, as you well know, is dedicated to all the horror hounds out there who want to expand their knowledge of the genre and have a good time.
And we hope you missed us, because tonight we're coming back gritty, sweaty, and brutal. We're heading deep into the backwoods to talk about Dolly.
Like maniac sweaty.
The grimy grindhouse love letter that feels like it crawled straight out of a smoke-stained VHS sleeve.
This one's got it all: an imposing silent killer, true crime inspiration, family trauma baked into the bloodshed, and a whole lot of brutality it does not ask for permission.
Think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre energy. Think fairy tale turned feral. Think heat stroke horror shot in the woods with poison oak, sweat, and pure chaotic commitment.
Directed by Rod Blackhurst, who literally postponed open heart surgery to finish this movie, Dolly doesn't just flirt with Grindhouse, it throws itself headfirst into the mud and dares you to follow.
And we're breaking it all down. The brutality, the performances, the influences, the moments that work, the ones that don't, and whether this nasty little fever dream earns its place in the cult classic conversation. All that and more tonight on High on Horror. Interviews, reviews, and the latest news all rolled into one.
All right, today, or tonight, depends when you're listening to this, we are firing up a straight classic. It's Granddaddy Perp, but it's an infused pre-roll. And this purple beast is heavy indica, that deep, earthy kush, and that'll sink you straight into the couch like you're chained to it. And here, I haven't showed this to you, but look at, like, all the, like, keef that they have.
Yeah,
it's a half
it's
gram.
like got keef on the outside of the wrap. That's nice.
It's tiny, but it's powerful.
That's what she said.
Up here, because when I got this, I did not think this was a half gram.
Yeah.
And when I read on the package, and apparently they're called Fat Boys.
I mean, it's pretty packed though. You can see even though it's short, it's stuffed.
Mean, and it's funny because you can like look at the filter, and you can see where like it just like it girths out.
And the Granddaddy Perp is my favorite strain, so it's definitely gonna looking forward to it.
Nicole's too, but you know she only does vapes.
You remember when I got the Granddaddy Perp bag and it was the old man from Up on the bag, and she was like, "Can I have that bag?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I gave it to her.
I don't know where it is. She's that was
a cool
I know
fucking
she
weed
knows
bag,
where
bro.
it is, But yeah, this is from Superfog. I mean, they are not sponsoring us, but everything I have got from them so far has been amazing.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you, I got a disposable from them.
Yeah,
the packaging is way too
pre-rolled
much.
from them as well before it was good.
But yeah, did you get one of the infused ones?
Yeah, I don't remember having that. So I mean, but it was 2 in a pack though. It wasn't that like in a glass tube. So I don't.
Yeah. This was 2. The only problem is the way they pack these in. That's my only complaint. Is like I had to slam it to get it out.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's probably the best way to word it.
I already said one. I'm gonna let that one go.
But yeah, so we're pairing this with Dolly, obviously. So we're pairing it because when the Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes kick in and the screen gets all grainy and brutal, you're not jumping because you're too fucking high to move. And keeps the paranoia low and the giggles high when the movie does something batshit. It's the exact chill you want when the film tries and almost succeeds to climb into that upper tier slasher echelon.
Hell yeah. And with that, I think I'm going to move us right into Puff Puff Ask, the segment of our show.
I'm going to puff this.
Where you listeners write your questions into us, and we read them on our podcast. This one comes from Blunt Force Trauma. They ask, if you were being hunted...
Is that an LA Night reference?
If you were being hunted by a silent, unstoppable slasher in the woods, what strain are you lighting up before you try to survive the night? Something to calm the paranoia or something to heighten your senses? And be honest, are you making it to the sequel? I am making it to the sequel. I'm a dad. I don't fuck around. I got shit to fight for. I'm not saying I'd be in one piece, but I would survive. Besides that, I'm definitely gonna go with a sativa like green crack. I usually only smoke indica strains, so I actually would be smoking sativa and probably, I just want to be really lazy. If I smoked sativa, I'd be really lazy brained. Okay, so
You mean if you smoked indica?
I just got so twisted up on my words because of the fucking bowl that we smoked before that. But I'm saying that if I had smoked sativa in these situations, I'd be lazy brained and paranoid. So I would actually go with a. I'm mixing my fucking weeds up.
Yeah,
I'm mixing my weeds up.
If you take the indica,
Okay. What I'm trying to say,
you want the sativa to ramp you up.
I am going with a
maybe
sativa like green crack. Yes, green crack would be what I smoke a sativa because I usually only smoke indica, and with sativa, I wouldn't be lazy brained and paranoid like I would be with indica. There we go. That's my response.
We got to it.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know if it works this way, but I would smoke some memba berries so I can remember how to get the hell out of there.
You're ridiculous.
No, I don't know how many times I think this has been brought up, but no, I'm not surviving a horror movie. I know that. See, I'd be like the guy that just like probably wouldn't even try to run from Michael. I'd just embrace it because I know it's just an inevitable.
Snap a selfie.
Yeah. But yeah, so. Yeah, member berries for me. I feel like also that's going to pair well into the next question here. You're given a horror movie survival rule book that guarantees you'll live, but you have to follow every cliche in the book. So that means no splitting up, no saying I'll be right back, no investigating weird noises. Do you follow the rules and survive a boring movie or break them and risk becoming the most iconic death scene of the year? Now, see, I just said I'm probably going to die, so maybe I do that. But see, normally I'm not checking that shit out.
But normally I'm not checking that shit out.
Yeah.
The way you said that, so nonchalant.
What was it my mom used to always say? It's better to be a live coward than a dead hero.
So you know what? It doesn't pay to be the nice guy sometimes.
Right?
But I would say that I'm going to follow the rule book because I'd be super aware anyway. Judging everyone being idiots, I'm pretty sure I know all the rules already. So I'd kind of just do my own thing, and if people wanted to follow me, they follow me, but don't expect me to stick around and be the hero for dumb people. I'm not doing that. I am not going to fucking stop and risk my life for the dude that was a dick to me the whole movie because he finally breaks his ankle as the killer's coming. That's
right.
Like, all right, douche, fuck you. No, I am not saving people, but by
now
all means. It's like what Batman said, right? It's exactly what Batman said to Ra's al Ghul when Batman Begins. I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. Yes, exactly.
That's the second time I've heard that quoted this week. It was I can't remember where the other one was.
That's a true statement.
Oh, shit. You said that fucked me up. I don't even know where I was going next.
Would you like you said you were you would be the most iconic death probably, you said?
I don't know if I'd even be an iconic death, but I'd be a death.
You'd probably be a funny death.
I'd probably die like Child's Play 3.
You'd be the dude that tries to shoot the fade with Jason.
I watched that last night for Friday the 13th.
I watched part 6. My kids requested it.
Yeah. I got eerie to bed. I was like, I ain't seen Manhattan in a while. The best part is I turn it on, and I just hear Nicole go, "Is this Manhattan?" And I'm like, yeah. She's like, one, I hate it, and two, I'm mad that I know that this is Manhattan. She fell asleep, I think, they hadn't even got to the first kill on the main boat. Like the two at the beginning were already dead, but she passed out pretty quick last night. But no, I'd probably be the death like Child's Play 3.
Which one?
The heart attack. Chucky would show up. I'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's what I said. But knowing you, that'd be funny because that's how you would expect to say yourself. That's something you'd say about yourself. So if it happens,
some Sanford and Son shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, since we're done Puff Puff Ask, if you want to ask us a question for next week's episode or the episode after that, reach out to us through email at highonhorror420@gmail.com or any of our social media accounts at highonhorror420. Yeah. And
We done Puff Puff A's, but we ain't done puffing.
That's right. All right, so now we're going to get into our movie discussion of Dolly.
Directed, co-written, produced by Rod Blackhurst. He did Night Swim, Amanda Knox, Here Alone, and starring Fabienne Therese. I think I said that right. I'm terrible. Everybody knows we're bad with names. Sean William Scott, Ethan Suplee, Max the Impaler. Dolly unleashes terror in the woods and embraces gritty craftsmanship, practical effects, and a sense of place that bleeds into every frame. As it follows Macy, who is faced with a deranged monster-like figure, making it a deliberate nod to the legacy of homemade horror born in the woods. The film is actually based on Blackhurst's 2022 short film Baby Girl.
All right, so I'll jump in here with my review of Dolly. Now, this might be a little long-winded here, so if it is, feel free to jump in at any time.
Okay.
You know, I know we usually respect our space when we try to talk about the movie, but if there's anything you want to jump in with...
I think there's been plenty of times, as I'm doing it right now, that we've jumped into others' reviews.
Yeah, and that's just fine, because I know I'm gonna get caught up in my opinions, and I don't want it to seem like a tirade, so if you have something to say. But Dolly is gritty, grime, under the fingernail kind of horror movie. From the first frame, you can feel that it's reaching back to the raw, ugly spirit of exploitation cinema. And the most obvious influence is clearly the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, even watching the trailer, you could see that, you know. But we've got, you know, the obese...
The shot of the house, too.
Exactly. You know, and like I said, we got the obese, mostly silent killer with almost supernatural speed and strength from behind. She even looks like Santa Claus. You know, the inspiration isn't subtle. But it's not just Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I also saw shades of The Hills Run Red, and especially American Gothic in there. That surreal, like, off-kilter tone that American Gothic had, where it's grounded in reality but still feels like a twisted fairy tale. Dolly really taps into that. It feels mythic and backwoods and, like, grimy all at once. And honestly, knowing a little about director Rod Blackhurst makes that tone make sense. He grew up in the woods of upstate New York with no TV, which absolutely tracks with the isolation and almost folklore-like atmosphere of the movie. The film also pulls inspiration from true crime and even the filmmaker's own family trauma, which, you know, gives it this undercurrent of personal darkness beneath all the blood and the grime. I'm saying grime a lot.
Graham.
Yeah.
Rick Grimes.
Well, but let's talk about the brutality, because the movie does not hold back. The kills are grisly, the gore is unflinching, it's mean, it's disturbing. There's a breast milk scene that genuinely rivals Barbarian in terms of sheer discomfort. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's the kind of moment that really makes you physically recoil.
No.
Yeah, but the thing is, as brutal as it is, I didn't find it scary. It's shocking, it's grotesque, it's deeply uncomfortable, but it never truly crawls under your skin in that way lasting horror does. It assaults you, it doesn't haunt you. Performance-wise, there are definite highs. You know, Max the Impaler, a pro wrestler from the NWA, plays Dolly, and this was literally their dream role. They always wanted to be a horror villain, and you can feel that commitment in the physicality. They were given a lot of creative freedom to shape the character, and it shows. The presence is imposing, the movement is deliberate, and considering they were filming in brutal summer heat and even having to take breaks during takes, that, you know, physical performance hits even harder. Max actually joined the project after Blackhurst messaged them on social media to be part of the film. That grassroots energy fits perfectly with the grindhouse DNA of this movie. And then there's Ethan Suplee, who absolutely killed it. Completely unrecognizable. He'll always be Frankie the Enforcer to me from Boy Meets World, you know, in my brain. But here, total transformation. He disappears into the role that genuinely impressed me. And here we go with behind the scenes. This production was no joke. Fabienne Therese had to get steroid shots before filming because of poison oak in the woods, and Blackhurst himself said that he postponed to open heart surgery, as John said at the beginning of this episode. I mean, that's commitment. That's, you know, belief in your project. Now, not everything worked for me. Here's the bad. Some of the acting just did not convince me. When Macy's ear is literally hanging off, I did not feel her pain, and that's a problem. And that cop or trooper at the end, why was he moving like that? Like, it almost felt intentional, like how slow and obvious he was moving. Like, it was like Dolly's running up on him, and maybe I'll say too much because it's spoiler free. But anyway, maybe it was meant to be an echo of that grindhouse dumb decisions on purpose vibe. But intentional or not, moments like that dampened the impact for me. And while I respect the homage angle, it's just a little too reminiscent of Texas Chainsaw at times. It feels less inspired and more like it's directly echoing.
Yeah.
You know, and that said, I genuinely believe that this is a love letter to the grindhouse era. If Dolly had been made in the 70s, tell me if I'm right or wrong about this, John. If Dolly had been made in the 70s or 80s, I think we'd be talking about Dolly today as a cult classic. That kind of grimy VHS, you know, horror fans worship and eventually want Hollywood to
maybe
remake.
even like early 2000s.
Yeah. You know, and even if it doesn't find its audience immediately, I think it will over time. It feels like a late night Discovery movie kind of horror fans pass around quietly until it builds its own reputation. Kind of, that was like Cannibal Holocaust for me. It's not perfect. It's not scary in the traditional sense, but it's bold, it's nasty, deeply personal, and unapologetically committed to its vision. For me, Dolly lands at a 7 out of 10. It's flawed, it's derivative in spots, but it's gritty and brutal and made with real passion, and that goes a long way. Like I said, long-winded.
Jumping back to Ethan Suplee.
Yeah.
He's always, for me, the role I always think of is him trying to see the sailboat
in Mallrats.
in Mallrats. That's always that's the first thing I always think of.
I knew exactly when you said looking at the picture.
When that kid says it's a scooter, he's like, it's a sailboat, and then the kid's like, that is a sailboat or whatever.
Yeah. No, I knew exactly what you were gonna say. I just pictured him with the beanie standing there staring. Doesn't he have a beanie on in that scene? I think he does. He might not, or he has either that or his hair's greasy. I haven't watched Mallrats in a minute, but I remember the scene.
Yeah,
it's a white picture.
It's one of those like 3D images.
Yeah.
First off, kudos to IFC for sending this over a couple of times. I don't know what happened on my end, but the screener kept messing up. It would say I had browser problems. I finally got it to work, and then with 20 minutes left, it said I was inactive, and it used my last available view, so they had to send it over again. And I haven't told you this. I had a couple of problems again trying to watch it.
No shit.
I
watched the first try, bro.
I don't know.
First try, I saved you 4 tries, and you were like, bro, there's a problem.
Dude, well, so what happened is I opened it on my laptop because I was going to plug it into the TV. It said, there's some kind of error. There's an issue with your browser. Try refreshing. So I hit refresh. It says 3 views. I'm like, oh shit, it took one away.
Oh, no.
And then I'm like, okay. I click. Pops up immediately with the browser one. I'm like, I'm not even going to refresh. I close it. I open Microsoft Edge. Microsoft Edge says there's two views left. I click on Microsoft Edge, immediately goes and says there's a browser issue. After the first one, I reset the entire laptop. So the second time I did Chrome, it was a reset on the computer. I was like, maybe it's a problem with the computer. When I saw reset and saw I lost one. So then I'm like, let me bring it up on my phone. And then I got 20 minutes left in the movie, and it pops up and it says, you're inactive. I was like, how am I inactive? I'm watching the movie on my phone. And I actually just had tapped the screen to rewind it. So it wasn't even like I hadn't interacted with the screen.
That's ridiculous.
They sent it over again.
Yeah.
I was like, let me try my laptop again. It was like browser issue. I was like, here we go. Or no, it started playing. I fast forwarded to like the last 20 minutes to watch it, and it pops up and said there's been an error like after it played for like 10 minutes. And I was like, what, are you kidding me?
Damn.
I opened it on my phone, so I watched the end of it on my phone.
Okay.
I had to sit in here like holding the phone like this. I was like, I just got to make sure I can get through this movie. So
10 minutes at a time, baby.
It's never had that. We've used IFC. We've got movies from them before. But anyway, yeah, so thanks again for accommodating all that. And yeah, Grindhouse is definitely what you say about the film. It has that nailed down, that video nasties feel. It has plenty of references to slashers, especially Texas Chainsaw Massacre. As you said, the TCM references stood out. But did you notice a reference to Scream in the credits?
I guess I'm not. I guess I didn't pay attention.
You know the whole thing with Scream, how it says no thanks whatsoever to whatever the school was they were trying to film at, and then they took it away. They wrote on there that not the same thing, but to the mosquito population of Southeast Tennessee.
I did see that, but I didn't know what that was. Okay,
You'd say
yeah.
no thanks whatsoever. So I have to imagine that was done on
They were
purpose.
getting lit. Yeah, they had to keep taking breaks. They were getting lit up with mosquitoes.
And I know we're trying to avoid spoilers, but I think more could have been done with Sean William Scott in the film. That you and I could talk after this, but I was expecting. I don't know. I guess I was expecting something.
Yeah.
We're both guys okay with things not being explained, but I feel like this setup deserved more answers than what we got. Those two things said, it's not a bad film by any means. Our final girl's well played. The killer has a great look. The expressiveness of the killer is great as well. I feel like, do you feel like that was directly taken from Terrifier as well? Just like the overacting and kind of miming of Baby Girl?
Possibly. It's definitely possible, but that's also derivative of, again, Leatherface.
True.
So, you
true.
know what I mean? So, again, it could still just be Leatherface.
Maybe not. But I feel like it could have been better. Just can't quite reach that upper echelon. With all that factored in, and I'd give it a 6.8 baby dolls out of 10.
Okay, so 6.8 for you and a 7 for me. We're pretty right in the ball.
I wanted to like it more. But
Same, like, yeah,
I just feel like there was too much going on with that whole. Maybe that's the point because there is an after credits.
Yeah.
Maybe if there is a sequel, that's the idea. Maybe that was the idea all along. But I feel like there should have been at least something more.
Well, this is the way that
I guess you could make that argument about the original Terrifier too.
That's what I was going to say was that unfortunately what Dolly tried to do, and actually it looks like it might have pulled it off. Like it looks like there is intentions on being sequels and probably will be sequels.
I think Rotten Tomatoes, it's like is it in the 60s?
Well, either way, I think, but my point is that I feel like this movie tried to do what other slasher movies try to do that Terrifier didn't try to do, that we talked about before. This movie's promising like the next horror icon and like, the scariest backwoods slasher you've seen and blah, blah, blah. And then like, really, it wasn't. It was a good movie. It was decent. It was a good movie. Like, I don't regret watching it. I'd watch it again. But like, it was not some like, it was not some like, holy shit, like we have a franchise on our hands. That was Terrifier. That was Hatchet. This was trying to promise that and did not deliver that.
Yeah. I feel like if they don't make another one, I wouldn't be like, oh no.
Yeah, right. But if they do make another one, I expect. I would say I expect a lot more.
It's not bad, but like I sit here and like sometimes I wonder if I should lower my score because I'm sitting here thinking about like if it was on like Shudder, like tomorrow, would I? I mean, obviously I watched it recently, but would I go like, oh, let me watch it? I don't feel like I would.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't feel like I'd replay it.
Yeah.
I feel like you said, it's too close to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and if I'm watching it, I feel like I'd just rather watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which ironically we did while recording this in the background.
yeah.
But I looked it up. It has a 62% on Rotten Tomatoes, and usually with Rotten Tomatoes and horror movies, usually the audience score is higher.
Yeah.
The audience score is a 49.
Oof.
It has 50 plus verified reviews. The tomato meter is based on 78 reviews. So actually critics like it more
than the audience.
That's not usually the
that's not common.
It's still considered fresh. Which I think up to
59% is considered fresh. I think 61 is considered fresh, but 59 under is rotten.
62, I guess that's actually probably a little lower than what we give it.
That's like a D.
Yeah, well,
they gave it like a low D.
Yeah, they're rated a little lower than us.
Yeah.
But
it's
not bad.
No, it's not. Like I said, it's just but it is like it's one of those like, oh, do you want to watch like a sleazy, trashy, slasher movie? It's definitely not a movie that requires thought, and like that's not always needed for, slasher
made it
movies.
Seem
but
like that that thought was going to be needed at some point in this movie.
It just played out from A to B. Like it was just kind of like a thoughtless like movie where there was nothing really to it. And like I said, with Hills Run Red, with Barbarian, and that's just two more recent movies. Like we've literally seen this plot a lot. Somebody getting stuck in the woods or lost in the woods and then being kidnapped, or a house. And weird shit. It's just like it didn't really offer anything but like a cool looking killer. That's really what comes out of Dolly, is just like a wicked looking killer. The movie doesn't match what the killer looks like.
And Nicole saw the picture of the mask, and she thought of Hills Run Red.
Yeah, baby.
And she's only seen it once.
Yep, Hills Run Red was fucking solid. I remember.
Yeah, she really enjoyed it, because I told her that she would probably like it after you showed it to me, and she was like, "Oh, I don't like." She's not big on slashers, but. Yeah, like she was like, "Oh, I like that more than I thought I was going to like that."
And I remember that you liked it so much you bought it on Vudu.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing about video store rentals that we don't. Well, I mean, you have streaming, but like I remember literally what happened was, if you look at the original poster for that movie, it is like a Hills Have Eyes rip off, like the letterings, the Hills Have Eyes letters, and it's called the Hills Run Red. So I remember like every week when I would go to Blockbuster, I would kind of look at it and snicker and kind of just be like, "This is such a rip off," blah blah blah. And I eventually got to a point where I had like rented like all of the movies and like everything. I'd rented Phantasm like 5 times. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'd already seen it since I was a kid anyway, and I just keep rewatching it. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I'll just give this a chance. Why not? And that's why it's hard being a horror fan, because you watch so many bad movies that you don't want to give things a chance sometimes. And then sometimes you do give that thing a chance and it's good. And The Hills Run Red, I was like, oh shit, like this isn't a ripoff of The Hills Have Eyes at all. Like they just use that logo lettering for marketing.
To their detriment, I think.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, so The Hills Run Red was better.
Yeah.
Okay.
By far.
If you want to watch a great serial killing movie, well, I don't know if I'd say great. You want to watch a really good slasher movie in a baby doll mask, watch The Hills Run Red.
Oh, baby doll killers. We forgot one. Happy Death Day.
Yeah, that mask is creepy, bro. Yeah. Yeah,
and then one other thing I had a weird problem with. So at one point in the woods, she runs up and hits the mask with her hand.
Yeah.
Knocks off a big portion over the eye.
Yeah.
Spoiler. She then takes a shovel and smacks the shit out of him in the face, and nothing happened more to the mask.
I know.
I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
I expected to see some spoiler, and we didn't, so, yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up. Thanks to all the horror hounds and stoners out there for tuning in. And make sure to keep up with us online, and we'll announce next week's episode. Make sure to follow us, like I said, High on Horror 420 on all the social medias. Send in your PPA questions, highonhorror420@gmail.com, or you can submit them on social media. Yep. I guess that'll about wrap her up. Catch you later.
Stay spooky, everybody.